All right, what's up, everybody? Hey, my name's Trent. I'm on the marketing team here at Amper, and with me I've got...
Oh my God, wait, did you already start? No way, bro.
With me today I've got...
Jacob Sanchez, baby. You guys already know.
Jacob Sanchez, live on the floor here at FabTech 2023. It's like, dude, who gives a... Jacob, thanks for being here, first of all.
Yeah.
And then will you give us just a quick introduction, in a nutshell, who you are, what you do, and how you kind of ended up here?
Yeah, for sure. I mean, in a nutshell, we got to start off with this industry. I have never been into it. Never knew anything about automation, never knew anything about manufacturing, engineering, machining, nothing. Like, my goals as a child, since I was in like freaking first grade, because I was a little heathen, was my family just telling me, Jakey, just please make it to like 5th grade. Jakey, it's about to be 8th grade. Just graduate 8th grade. Okay, you're a freshman now. Just get through high school,
they were
please.
Just dragging you along. They were like, please.
Dude, I was a little, when I was in, I think I got told when I was in 1st grade or 2nd grade, I would make kids on like the play set pay me in bark to use the slide. And if they didn't pay me in bark to use the slide, I like push them off.
You were already monetized. You were like, I'm ready to start my own business.
The bark was everywhere, and if you weren't just grabbing a piece of bark to hand to me, that's not my fault.
It was really a proof test of like, are you competent as a human or not?
I was filtering out who should go to those AP classes later on in high school. They should have started that lesson then.
They should have given you that job. Like, all right, Jakey. Little Jakey, what's the list of kids that are smarter than everyone else?
Dude, so nobody ever thought I was going to do anything, let alone engineering, man. And the only reason I even got started in the CNC class that I did in high school back in Cali was because freshman year, new school, new friends, don't know anybody. I'm trying to take the easiest A possible. So I went and put my name in for cooking class or home ec, because all the high school movies you've ever seen growing up, that's the easy A.
100%.
And obviously everybody else thought the same thing. Yep. So whatever elective gets filled up and you're in for it, they just throw you into whatever. And so I got thrown into EST, which is our engineering support technology class.
Yeah.
Dude, I was so mad. I sat in the back of the classroom with like the grunge and the skater kids. I was pissed off that I was in this class that the first week they're doing like the icebreaker stuff.
Yep.
And we had to make like a paper airplane. We were going to go see how far you can throw it. I have hated arts and crafts and anything RT since I was a kid. And so I was just furious, man. The first 3 months of me in that classroom was just anger.
Yeah.
And eventually I didn't like going home a lot. So I eventually asked the teacher, hey, if I stay and just sweep your floors, can I not go home? And so he said, yeah. And he'd let me stay after school. And I would just do that for a while. But I was actually in the shop. And I like saw these machines, and they were manual mills and lathes and a few CNCs. And I was like, okay, why don't you show us this? And I started asking questions. And long story short, man, when I made my first part on that manual lathe, it was a ring. It was a ring on this hand. I had 10,000 slits spaced out all the way down. It was smooth. It was beautiful. And people started asking me around school, where'd you buy that? Where'd you get that? Oh, no, I made it. And the adults were like, this, because this dumb kid made a ring. Yeah. And once I saw that, I was like, oh, this isn't usual.
Yeah.
And I went full in to machining the rest of my high school career.
What was it about that moment, that experience, creating that you were like, okay, actually, this is something that
Well, because I've only had adults tell me things I shouldn't or couldn't do. I've never had an adult surprised at something I did.
Okay, yeah.
And so that kind of blew me away a little bit. And then once I started making more things and designing my own things, I designed my own, me and my friend started our own racing company in like sophomore, junior year called Yeet Racing.
Okay.
And I made my own custom race pedals. And then once I made those and people wanted to buy it, and then somebody wanted me to make them wheel spacers for like their race car or something, I was like, not everybody can do this.
Yeah.
And the fact that I can is even more abnormal, so I need to keep doing this.
Yeah.
It was just something that I finally felt I had a skill, and it was a skill that people needed.
Yeah. I think that's a huge thing in manufacturing that, from my perspective, a lot of people don't understand, is that manufacturing is a need, and it without manufacturing, we are at a loss because everything's manufacturing.
Yeah.
What, in your experience, and moving from your story to kind of getting here now, and we can talk more about what you did after high school. I love that story of like your introduction and getting here now, and even like the why behind continuing in manufacturing. But you're doing stuff now that is really bringing manufacturing awareness right to younger people. And if you walk around here at FabTech 2023 and you talk to people in booths, different companies selling robots or machines, like you'll hear people don't want to work. What's your perspective on this idea?
So I saw this firsthand when I was in my automation role. So I was an application engineer. I would go out to businesses for certain applications that I was designing for, so I could see how they're doing the process now with their people, and so I can create a better sell to do it. And I went to at least 3 businesses where it wasn't that there was workers everywhere just hammering down, getting everything done, productivity through the roof. It was a ghost town, and I'm like, how are you even running? Like, what are you doing? And they're like, well, we have to ship this stuff overseas. Like, I can't find anybody that wants to work in this place or do this job. And so I don't want to do it overseas anymore. I don't want to send it over there. I want to do it here, and that's why I have you here trying to figure out what cell can make it happen.
Yeah.
So it's not always the case of even the skills guys. It's not always the case of, oh, let's train them and they will come kind of thing. Like, it's the fact that people just may not want to do it. There are going to be certain jobs in certain fields where they do not want to do a work. I love this example. If I'm a highly skilled welder, there's some beautiful art pieces through this facility and somebody made that. If that's my skill set, I don't want to just be putting some corner welds on some angle iron, making, I don't know, let's say weldments or something all day, every day for the rest of my life.
Yeah.
When you have a skill like that, why would you want to do that? That's when you bring a robot in. That's when you let that welder, that expert, still be your main person on the floor programming these robots or one robot to do a bunch of these menial tasks. Let them go do something beautiful. Let them work on something they're going to be proud of and want to show off. You know what I mean?
Yeah. So you're like very pro automate the shit that people don't want to do.
Yes.
Yeah.
And understand that that's what automation does a lot of the time. Just because it's taking a menial or dangerous job from somebody, because look, let's be honest, we all know there are some instances and some applications where that robot is going to be replacing a person. I'm tired of people saying that it doesn't do it, because that's the one thing everybody that doesn't understand automation uses against us. So embrace this right now. There are going to be applications where that robot's going to take over.
Yep.
But guess what? If that occupation or whatever that task was had a risk rate of 40%, if I was doing a job and I had a 20% chance of losing a freaking finger, I'm not doing it. So let's also understand that robots, yes, will come in to replace some things.
Yeah.
But it's to protect people. Like, at the end of the day, that's what you should be doing.
Yeah. And from what I've learned too is that if we automate something with a robot, there still has to be someone or someone's operating and inputting what needs to happen.
If you do it smart. A lot of businesses don't understand that you don't just bring turnkey solutions in and set it and forget it.
Yeah.
That's going to start collecting dust. That's going to be your new freaking weight on your shop floor that you point at and be like, oh, I used to run. Oh, we don't use it anymore. We went back to this way. It's because people don't prepare their business to be sustainable for automation.
Yeah.
That is a big thing that people don't understand. Being sustainable for automation means keeping people, means training your people to stay up to date with all this technology.
Yep.
That's a big thing.
Yeah. You gave a talk, 3 things manufacturers can do to set themselves apart.
Yeah.
Would you mind, breaking those 3 things down as simple, quick as possible?
It was beautiful stuff, and it ranges. So we'll start with number 1. Not all of these are going to be applicable to everybody. I went in and I did analysis on these businesses, and I understood their demographics, I understood their goals, and then we implemented these goals for them. Understand that when you're trying to make success for you, don't just look at somebody else and try to copy them.
Yeah.
That's a major thing. But number 1, benefits. Standing out and doing something for your company. When we're talking about workforce development in the portion of recruiting, because workforce development isn't just all about recruiting. You need to be providing people something that makes you memorable or shows that you care about their quality of life, whether it's at work or outside of work.
Yeah.
And something that I've pitched to a manufacturing company that is implementing this now is unlimited vacation time. Just that word. I had a 3-hour conversation with this person. Not because he was angry or anything like that, but because he truly couldn't understand my concept of you need to do this and you need to give them upfront trust with it.
Yeah.
You're giving them the upfront trust of saying, hey, here's what I'm giving you. Let's not abuse it and let's make something happen.
Yep.
He just couldn't understand that. And that's a big thing that I know is at least my generation expects is I'm not going to earn your trust. I'm not going to make you earn my trust. I'm going to give it to you. And if you break it, that's your fault. That's on you. And now you're not with me like that anymore. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
And so that's a big thing. Unlimited vacation time. I pitched that upfront trust idea to him. And then also I designed this tiered benefit package based on his demographic. So I looked at the generational workers that were at this business in the management level, leadership level, and then the larger populace of workers. And I customized this tiered benefit package that I thought had aspects of quality of life between demographics.
Yeah.
So I had different packages with passion projects for community events, for eco-friendly activities, which I know Gen Z likes a lot of. I had different, I can't remember them all right now. I had different coffee things like in the workplace. But I had all these different benefits that you could pick from.
Yeah.
If you're a new worker here, pick what you like and how you live your life, and let the business work around you.
And it's different. Set yourself apart. It's different. People would be attracted to those options, those opportunities. Love it. What's number 2?
Number 2 was an awesome one when it comes to how we're talking about our industry. So I'm very big this past year on we need to stop selling our industry and we need to start showing people our industry. What I mean by that is when we're going out there, and a lot of these businesses, they love to try to work with education. They want to do what they can. They have internships or apprenticeship programs. You're in a career day or you're in a college, you're talking to these young students or even high schoolers, trying to get them excited, but all they're hearing all day is what your apprenticeship is and what your internship is. The next company comes up, apprenticeship, internship. The next company comes up, apprenticeship, internship.
Yeah.
That's all they hear all day, and like we get it. Like I want you guys to set up a good future for them and a good path for if they're joining your business, but that's not what makes you different. That's making you the same as everybody else.
Yeah.
And
so
also,
what's the solution to that though? Is it bringing people to them? Is it bringing manufacturing to the students?
So there's two solutions. One of them is we need to also I've talked to people about needing to work on their internship and apprenticeship programs before you're pitching it like it's amazing.
Yeah.
Find somebody in just this hall right now that doesn't have an internship or apprenticeship program. It's going to be far and few between. Everybody has something. Find me somebody that can show me documented growth on an employee that came on their internship program, where their path is going, where they are along right now. It's not documented, or it's not documented.
Yes.
It's not structured.
So there's no proof, there's no structure. So it's
Let's be honest, they do it for 3 months and then it's get to work, get to the real stuff on the shop floor. But you can show them that growth and have structured curriculum and training and development along the way.
Yeah.
Show me that. Show them something.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Clear
Related
path.
to them.
Yeah.
Not just what you're providing.
Yeah.
The other thing that you mentioned, yes, is bringing manufacturing to them or showing them the non-polished side. We love to pretend like there's no problems in this business. People, I'm telling you, I judge First Robotics. There's kids out there from 1st grade to 12th grade building robots, trying to code for the first time in their lives. They know what problems are.
Yeah.
They have difficulties on their team, which would be the same team as having difficulties with a coworker. They have trouble with code. That's the same thing as a programmer on the job. Like, let's not try to hide everything.
Yeah, and that's because I watched another video that you talked about this idea of, we try to polish manufacturing. You go, it's actually really great and easy and like whatever. There is no good story that doesn't have a problem in it.
Yeah.
Just like you're saying, it's like, hey, you're problem solving all the time, and you're trying to, and that's what we love. Like, especially manufacturers, from what I've learned, it's like you're solving a puzzle like constantly, and that's the beauty of it, because at the end you solve this puzzle, and then you get to go, this is what we made.
It's about taking pride in your problem and how you solved it.
Yes.
When you're telling a story, you're going to tell that crazy part of, oh my gosh, I had to tell them how to set up this robot. This piece of the code wasn't working. We got it just in time for the show. People loved it. Like
100%.
You're always talking about the problem.
Yep.
So we need to stop hiding it. And also, just bringing manufacturing to them and showing how they can have fun and how. I love that we talk about how it's not dirty, dull, and dangerous. That's amazing, because that's something that the kids may already know. Oh, I love this, but it's something the parents don't know. And that's the other thing too, is we need to not just focus in on the kids. We need to focus in on the parents. We need to focus in on the community. We need to focus on the leaders of these areas. You know what I mean?
Yep. Love it. All right, give us number 3.
All right, number 3 is a big one when it comes to just how you run your business. People are so scared to talk to other businesses, even at these shows, when it comes to trying to solve a problem. You hear a lot of companies saying that we can't get out at trade shows. We can't get our name out there. We don't know how to be us out there. We're just running this business to make money, but we want to do more. And they always say we can't. And I'm asking them, well, what are you doing? Something that I tell a lot of businesses is, don't be afraid to ask. The way I have a robot cell running right behind us. It's a low-cost automation robot from iGUS and a freaking awesome industrial base designed by Mission. I didn't pay for any of that. I asked and I provided resources and time and things I know I could give to them that they don't have to get me there, to get me that. And that's the same thing when it comes to running your business and getting out, let's just say at a trade show, for example. If you're smaller and you just don't have the money or you want a bigger booth space, talk to a business that you already do business with to make real money and work something out. Hey, look, our components are on your machine in that booth. What if we did something where we come in with a little segment of our components and we did a video on your machine showing it off to your customers? Now you're getting double the customer base too. You're getting Company A and Company B in the same area, different demographics. Don't be afraid to ask. It's not that girl and guy that both like each other and neither of them want to ask the other one on a date because you think the other one's going to say no.
Yep.
That's a really big thing that I think we need to start embracing, and especially since a lot of these companies are in industrial, like, little villages, you know? Why aren't you guys holding your own community events in your own sectors, doing an open house to bring more people in, bring those parents in, bring those community leaders in, and show them what manufacturing's about?
Yeah. It's interesting. Like, we get stuck in our day-to-day, and we get stuck in this is how it's done. What I'm hearing is, get creative. Reach out, ask questions, partner with businesses that you already work with. You will only fail. You will only get a no. It will never happen if you don't ask. So making that ask, thinking outside the box a little bit, getting creative with how you can show up and be present in these situations. Man, I think that's super great, and manufacturers out there encourage you to get creative and think outside the box a little bit. Before we wrap up, what are you doing right now and next? Just give us a quick spiel, and then how can people find you and continue to follow along with what you've got? Let's
start off with that. I mean, you already all know where to find me. LinkedIn, that's where my channel's based off right now. I'm doing a big Japan trip at the end of the year, going to one of the world's largest robotic shows. And that's when I'm going to drop my TikTok. So I'm going to be doing LinkedIn and TikTok.
Nice.
Industry analyst and content creator is what I'm doing now. So I went from CNC machinist, application engineer, industry analyst, and content creator for industrial strength marketing. So we help a lot of these companies that are at these shows even do their branding. Doing their pre-show, post-show, during show stuff. That's how we make it happen for them. I love it. Already working with some really cool clients, really good organizations. AMT is one of them. I'm hyped for IMTS next year. And then on a personal note, I'm doing a lot more with education, doing a lot more public speaking, trying to speak at a lot more trade shows. I'm speaking at another event called Task in Novi, October 10th and 11th of 2023. Lights out automation and what it really means. That's going to be awesome.
Okay.
And then, yeah, on a personal note, I'm starting some pretty cool initiatives for kids in our industry. Something I'm dropping as a landing page with a coming soon at the end of the year that I haven't told anybody about really live is MFG Kids and Automation Kids. Trying to make these platforms to have industry leaders go and learn about what these schools are doing, what these young professionals and kids are doing in the industry or in their communities. It's going to be a resource center for the kids to learn as well about us. I hope to have a scholarship program.
Amazing, man. Well, hey, Jacob, once again, thank you for coming by our booth. Thanks for chatting with us,
Dude,
for sharing great information with us.
This got me fired up, man. I'm running on 5 hours of sleep. I'm ready to get after it.
Let's go, man. Wait, thanks again.